So let me first show you my place. It's a little messy. Okay, so this is the living room. Oh, I got a projector screen too, so I watch like, I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't have a TV. I have this little projector right here, $240. Bam, I can get like 100 inches or it's bigger than that, I don't know. During the day it's not as good because of the freaking blinds. Like I could probably like do a good job like hanging a black sheet or something, but at night it's amazing. Then I have a PlayStation so I can play games, hook it up to the projector and play on a big screen. I have my espresso bike from my old house in Arizona. That was like a pain in the butt to move, but so what I can do is I can ride the bike and then I can turn the projector around and watch on this wall with the bike. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's no reason to look at anything else. Did a half marathon on Sunday, 3 days ago. And it was like the most stressful race I've ever had because one, I was racing one of my friends I made here. He does 80 miles a week, so he does basically twice the mileage I do. Okay, he's competitive like I am, he's cocky like I am, and he's basically the same pace that I am. Every workout that I do, he can do, and vice versa. Except I feel like sometimes he does workouts that are like, I'm like, okay, that would be pretty hard to do. Like I see his Strava, like in my mind, we're the same exact fitness. And he runs more. We're the same speed, and he runs more than me. And every time I go on a run with him, I don't like training with him because he's one of those guys that like always inches ahead of you. He has to be like a half a step ahead of you on a training run. So you're constantly like trying to stay next to him, and you feel like he's setting the pace, and it's never slow. He always runs like, 6:30, or it's like he can't ever run like an easy run. Like it's kind of annoying. So as a result, we don't run together that much, but we are friends. We do talk a lot about running. He's the only one I can really get hyped up with about the trials. So, I had to beat him because he was going to be there. And it almost feels like racing myself. The only advantage that I have is that he runs like a jackass. Like his pacing is off. The marathon half marathon where I run at 1:16 and I PR'd, he actually went out with the leaders running like 5 flat pace. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? And I'm back running like 5:40s, and then he died. I caught up to him. He tried to stay with me for a while, and then I dropped him. And then he had a bad race. But he's run, his PR is 1:17. So he has the ability. And he's broken 16 in the 5K. So I think he's a little bit better at shorter distance than I am, but like longer distance, maybe I had the edge. Or maybe he's just not mentally tough enough to do the longer distances. Like it's more mental, whereas the shorter stuff is like more anaerobic and speed based and everything. Anyway, so he was going to be in this race and he wanted revenge. So I was like, oh shoot. And it's going to be a smaller race, so I knew that he wouldn't have anyone fast to bait him into going out fast. So he's probably just going to go off of me because he saw what I did in the last half marathon. He knew that I had good pacing. So I go with my girlfriend and her friend. Obviously, they make me run late. So I get to the race with 26 minutes until the race. That's it. And it was a pretty big race. So I had to wait in line for like 10 minutes to use the bathroom, which is the most important thing. And no, I don't go at home because it was like a half-hour drive from my house. And I like to go number 2 as soon, like I have to put it off as long as I can. Because if I do it too early, like right when I wake up at 4:30 or whatever, I'll have to go again before the race. So I just hold it all in and then go before the race. So I went, then I did like a 3-minute warm-up, then I went back to the packet pickup to get my race bib and my running chip and my timing chip. And I had about like 11 or 12 minutes until the race. And I'm like, okay, this line better move fast because this was a big line. And then it's not moving very fast. I'm like, maybe they'll start the race late. There's no way they can let all these people just stand here and then start it. And the announcer goes, 5 minutes till race time. If you're not here, don't worry. Your time doesn't start until your chip crosses the starting line. So you can start after the race, after the gun goes off. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want to do a time trial. The whole point of doing a race is you can race the people in the front. So I was like, shit, I need to be up there. And the people in front of me are having a conversation about, oh, my goal is to run 10:30 pace. And it's like, you know, that's great for you, but like, I'm going to run twice your speed. So like, can I cut in front of you? Like, that's what I'm thinking the whole time. I don't want to be rude though. So I'm being patient. I'm tapping my feet, jogging in place, all, you know, anxious. And meanwhile, my heart's beating like a jackrabbit because I'm like all nervous and like not relaxed. And I'm like worried I won't be able to get there in time. But I'm not the kind of person that is like rude to people, at least not in a serious manner. So I don't feel right cutting in front and being that, you know, that douche. All right, so then the race announcer says 3 minutes left, and I was like, okay, screw it, I'm going to the front. So I was sixth in line at this point, and I cut in front and I said, excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, you know, that guy, but I need my chip right now, please. You know, I don't care about my bib, I don't care about my racing t-shirt, you know, or my goodie bag. All I need is my chip so that I can start the race on time. I'll get my other stuff later. And it's really important because, you know, I'm going to be in the front and I just want to be able to start on time. And everyone kind of looked at me at first, and then one of the people helped me. So I got my stuff, okay. And then he said 30 seconds until race start. And I had just gotten my chip. It took him a while to find all my stuff because I registered the night before. So I was on a separate list. So they find my chip, they give me my bib, even though I didn't want it. I'm sprinting over to the starting line because it's kind of far away. And then there's corrals, and you have to go from the very back of the corral all the way through the pack to the front. I didn't have time for that. So then he says 10 seconds till race start. I get to the, I'm approaching the front of the corral, and I throw my bib and take off my shirt, throw it to the side, don't know where it is, don't care where it is. I have my chip in my hand. I'm like, I'm just gonna hold my chip. I didn't have time to put it on my shoelace. And I didn't have time to go in the back of the corral and go all the way around. So I jumped over the corral, like probably 4 feet high. Like I should be in the high jump in the Olympic trials. I'd get last, but still, I mean, a 4-foot jump, like 3 seconds left is when, 3 seconds till the start is when I jumped over the barricade, almost busted my ass. And then I was like right near the front, and everyone's looking at me like, whoa, where'd this guy come from? And as soon as I landed, the gun went off. So I'm starting right behind my friend and going, and I'm just like completely like just already panicky and like just not relaxed, like a not a good way to start off a race. Just totally out of my element. Oh, and then I hit my watch right when we started. I hit my watch, and my watch didn't have time to it doesn't like load to acquire satellites, but if I hit it and run right away and don't let it load, don't let it like sit there for like 10-20 seconds, then sometimes it messes up my pace. So yeah, sure enough, it said we were going 6:30s, and I'm like, there's no way this is a 6:30 pace. I knew it was fast, but it wasn't accurate. It was like thrown off by the quick start. So then I'm running blind basically, and the problem is I'm a watch Nazi. Okay, I'm really good at running a certain pace, but I'm disciplined now. I'm more disciplined, but I need my watch to tell me, so I can back off in the beginning when it feels easy. Well, I didn't have that. Everything said 6:30 pace. So I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just running, and obviously we went out too fast. The very beginning we went out 5:10 pace, really stupid. But there was this one guy who went out way ahead of everybody, and he looked legit. I really thought he was like probably like a 1:13 half marathoner, and he was just gonna win the race. And I was like, all right, you know, I'll watch him go. So I let him go, and I was in second, and my friend got behind me, and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't know we were that fast. I figured, okay, he's playing mind games. He should be off with that top guy like he did before, but now he's just going off of me. This is gonna suck. For 13 miles, having this guy like just drafting behind me strategically and like, annoying. So the first mile went out in 5:35, which is too fast. Because 5:35, okay, a 5:40 is a 1:14 flat, which is 2 minutes faster than my PR. Okay, So even though 5:35, you're like, oh, it's not that fast. Like, yeah, it is. I don't know. I have a calculator, but let's just say that's probably a 112 pace or something ridiculous. I mean, it's definitely, yeah, it's probably like a 112 pace. So to go that fast when your PR is 116, that's way too fast. That's bad. I wanted to go out 5:45, not 5:35. And we went out the very beginning at 5:10 pace. So it was just horrible. And at that point, my watch started working right after the 1 mile marker. And by then I'm like, well, the damage is already done, you know, and I still didn't know for sure if my watch was right. I didn't trust it. But I just started running, and we caught at the mile marker. We caught the guy who went out too fast, so he was a poser. And then I sat behind him at first, intimidating him and like getting all up in his business, like right behind him and like breathing on him. But then I noticed he was slowing down. Like that tactic didn't like coerce him in his speeding up. So I was like, you know what, this guy's a poser. I don't want to get stuck behind him and have everyone catch us. So I went around him and I just set the pace. And my friend got right on my shoulder. And then through 3 miles, we were running like 5:40. So 5:35, then we did like a 5:40 pace, and then like a 5:42. So we're still doing sub 5:40 for the first 3 miles, which is bad, really bad. Because if you're going that fast, okay, yeah, you're breathing hard, which is a big thing, but also you're going, I feel like that pace is above my lactic threshold, probably. I think 5:40 and is probably my lactic threshold. So going under my lactic threshold pace is not good, because that means my legs are going to get tired. So after mile 3, my mind starts setting in. I'm like, you know what? We're running pretty stupid right now. You know, this is going to hurt really bad on the way back. I already knew. And I was just thinking to myself, like, he's breathing pretty hard. So am I, but he's breathing harder than me. So hopefully that's, an indication that he doesn't feel that well, and he'll break before me. And we'll still get, I'll still win. That's all I'm thinking about. At that point, I wasn't thinking about PRing because I ran stupid. Because really, pacing is everything. You can be in great shape, but if you don't run a smart race, you're not going to run a time that is reflective of the fitness that you're in. And that's the truth. And that's something I've learned over time, how to pace in races. But obviously I did the wrong thing here. I blame my watch. I blame the stress of the situation before trying to get my chip. So then after mile 3, I kind of moved over, slowed down slightly, and let him lead. We were still going like 5:43 pace or whatever, but let him lead. I ran next to him. And then at mile 5, or a little over 5, I had a turnaround. And at that point we were running like still mid 540s. And then I let him take the lead right before mile 5. And I just ran right behind him because he was going at a good pace. And I also started thinking to myself, okay, maybe I can run a little easier, get a second wind, and drop him later. Like, I just want to see where he's at. Like, what will he do if he's setting the pace as opposed to me setting the pace, So he starts running like 5:55 pace on the way back. But there's a big headwind, so I was like, okay, that's probably part of it. It's still sub 6. I'm just going to go with it. But I'm running next to him because I didn't want to like use him to block the wind, but also I didn't want him to think that I was tired, and give him some kind of boost. And also, he runs twice the mileage that I do, so I figured the longer that I allow him to stay with me in the race, the better off he'll be, because his legs will be fresher at the end than mine will. So at mile 6, I made a move, strong move, like a fartlek kind of tempo thrown in there. Just long enough until he broke. I told myself I'm just going to do it till he breaks. And I did, got like a 10-second gap between mile 6 and 7. And then I just held my pace the best I could. Like, not the same pace I did to drop him, but back to the pace we were running, like around 6 flat, high 5s, 6 flat, and just tried to hold on to it. And hopefully he would just be demoralized by the gap I created and not have at that point I was like, okay, he has to run faster than me to catch up. and I'm not going to give it up. I'm just going to hold my pace, and I actually extended the lead, and you know, I won by 26 seconds, I think. Well, because the last mile I kind of died, but by then I knew I had the race in hand. So I ran like my last mile was like 6:12 or 6:11, and he ran a 6 flat. So, you know, I was really up like almost 40 seconds with a mile to go. But really, the damage was done from mile 7 to 9. Those 3 miles, I got, you know, about 30 seconds on them, and that's all I needed. So I ran a 1:17. I did it the painful way. Wasn't close to my PR or anything. But given the circumstances, the chaotic, you know, morning, you know, right before the race, and just running without a watch, you know, screw me up, and you know, I'm just, you know, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm glad that I was able to respond to new challenges, you know, and I think what I need to do is I need to do more speed work, more fartlicks. And just hopefully I'll be ready for the next race. But I am going to start trying to get into more triathlons. In August there's some stuff planned. I need to start doing some triathlons because I had the World Championships September 18th in Cozumel, Mexico. My Team USA uniform is in the mail, should be here soon. And I have Miami half Ironman in late October. So I need to start like actually focusing on triathlons a little bit. So I'll be on that bike a lot, wherever it is, over there. And excited for the Olympics. Can't wait to watch it on my big screen projector wall thingamajig configuration. And hope you guys are doing well. I know I don't make a lot of videos, but you know I'm training hard.